I'm Nancy. It is, sorry, I got a new book and I was just looking at it. Okay. It is December 19th at 3:03 p.m. And we're in the locker room. See right there, locker room. Okay. You can't see because it's above my head. But it says locker room. It said locker room. Okay. So, yesterday while we were out to lunch, they sentenced Brian Walshe. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to play just a little bit of the closing arguments from his attorney, just to refresh you with, his side of the case. It says, well, it says up here on my page, you can't see it. It says he never, oh yeah, here it is. If I would do things all the way instead of halfway, remember, Nancy, don't ever do anything halfway. All right. It says right here, he never unalived Anna Walshe. Brian Walsh's lawyer says in closing argument. All right, let's listen. Where are you at? He's hard to hear.
The unthinkable happens. It happens in a variety of ways. And the Commonwealth must prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that a homicide occurred, that a killing occurred, Nothing proves that beyond a reasonable doubt on the facts and circumstances and the evidence presented to you. There's evidence that he lied to the police. There's evidence that he searched the internet. There's evidence that he disposed of a body. But there is no proof in all of the evidence that you have heard and been presented that he ever once thought about harming the woman he loved. That he ever thought about harming the woman he loved. That he ever planned to harm. That he ever intended to harm. So, when we talk about the evidence of the affair, when we talk about evidence of financial concerns, when we talk about evidence of being ready to go to prison, those are the motives that the Commonwealth needs to prove to you to support any notion that a loving husband and a loving father would kill.
Is this woman right here repeating everything he's saying? Why can't he just talk into the microphone?
His wife. And the evidence suggests there was no motive at all. And without a motive, without a reason that is based on facts and circumstances, logic and understanding, without that, you have a sudden and unexpected event that results in confusion, and panic, and fear. All of those things that are so troubling and horrific that you've heard evidence about, they may be argued that they show consciousness of guilt. But people do things, terrible things sometimes, not out of guilt, but out of fear, out of disbelief, out of confusion. Certainly, a loving father and a loving husband would feel guilty about what he did do.
Because she's the court reporter, she doesn't speak full syllables. She knows how to abbreviate words so that every word can get documented. Wow, I didn't know that. Yes.
I'm home.
Okay.
What's for dinner?
I thought you were going to have leftover macaroni and cheese.
I ate that for lunch.
Okay, have corn dogs, please.
Okay.
All right, love you. I got you ketchup.
Not just about lying to the police, but what he did do in the context of what he did to the woman he loved. In a moment, in hours, and in days of confusion and disbelief and horror. But that feeling of guilt had nothing to do with the killing, because he never killed Anna Walshe.
All right, that's what I wanted you to hear. He's saying he never killed Anna Walshe. I've been saying, and my thoughts have not changed. I do not believe they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he unalived her. I don't believe that. I'm not saying, obviously something had to unalive her, whether it be something natural or a combination of some medication she took with the champagne, or you never know. It could have been anything. If if he wouldn't have panicked, if he would have called 911, he might not be sitting where he's sitting right now. But we don't know. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So now we're at court, and court is about to come into session. That's why we got the beautiful clock sitting here, and we're going to see what happens here.
I lost $50,000 because I didn't buy a domain name. My advice, head to Wix.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything for the Honorable Diane Fernandez, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court. Ron, give your attendance, you shall be heard. Look at the call of the Massachusetts, Norfolk Court. Please be seated, put down.
Your Honor, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walsh, Norfolk Superior Court criminal indictment.
Did you notice that? They didn't take off his red bracelets. Let's back up. I'll show you before he sits down.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything for the Honorable Diane Fernandez, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court. Ron, give your attendance, you shall be heard. Look at the call of the Massachusetts, Norfolk Court. Please be seated, put down.
Your Honor, in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Brian Walsh, Norfolk Superior Court criminal indictment number 2023-0091. Defendant and counsel are present in court. Defendants represented by Attorney Larry Tipton and Attorney Kelly Porges. Commonwealth is represented by Attorney Greg Connor, Attorney Ann Yaz, and Attorney Tracy Cusick. Counsel, starting with the Commonwealth, kindly identify yourselves for the court and the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Greg Connor for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ann Yaz for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tracy Cusick for the Commonwealth.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. Kelly Porges on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Larry Tipton for Mr. Walsh.
Please be seated.
Now, that's the first time I've heard him speak. I don't know why he said good morning to the judge. I mean, it's respectful. I'm not complaining, but we haven't heard that before.
All right, I have two motions up here, one from each of you, and I'll address those in a minute.
You are unmuted.
I don't know where that keeps
So let me start by, excuse me, taking a drink of water. Let me start by listing what the court has reviewed in preparation for this sentencing to make sure that everything you think that I have reviewed, I have in fact received and reviewed. So I've received the parties' sentencing memos. That comprises one sentencing memo submitted, I think, yesterday or the day before, late in the day before, from the Commonwealth. The defense has provided a sentence.
Hey, Manda Panda, her clock's running. And the hands glow in the dark. Too cool.
Sentencing memo along with a supplement that I received this morning. I think that was filed yesterday after the close of the business day. I also have received various victim impact statements in writing, to include victim impact statement on behalf of the three minor children from the Department of Children and Family Services, DCF. I've also received victim impact statements written from Melissa Kirby and from Peter and Pam Kirby. And I sought out and shared with the parties and have reviewed various sentencing commission information, as well as guideline calculation from probation, as well as Mr. Walsh's carry and triple I, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
My name's Kate.
A Hallmark limited holiday series.
Thanks to my friends, I'm going on 12 Christmas.
And I've now just received and will review, prior to deciding my sentence, a letter from Diana Walsh. As an initial matter, is there anything that the parties submitted that I didn't just now list that you expected me or want me to review before sentencing? Kamal first.
Your Honor, there will be a victim impact statement given by Anna's sister, Alexandra Dimitrovic, and she's prepared to give that to the court.
Okay, but as far as written materials, any other written materials that you are hoping me to review before I impose sentence?
No other written materials, and I just want to note, FTR is not on at this point in time, and I don't know if the court needs that on. I know we have a court reporter, and we're in good hands, but sometimes we've been running both.
All right, I thank you for pointing that out. We do, when we have the court reporter, that is the primary method of memorializing the events, but always good to have a backup, and I see that Madam Clerk has put it on now. For the defense, are there any other written materials that you wish the court to review?
You have everything.
All right, let me just take a moment to review this letter.
Okay, it'll be.
Dimitrovic to address the court. Would you like her at the witness stand or from the podium?
In the witness stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I kind of cut off the intro to this. This is Anna Walsh's sister.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You may be seated.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandra Dimitrievich, and I'm the sister of Anna Walsh. I am here today to represent myself and my mother. I want to share with the court how losing my sister in January 2023 has forever changed our lives and left us with an unbearable emptiness. Losing my sister Anna so unexpectedly has altered our world in ways we never imagined. Anna was not just my sister. She was someone I grew up with, someone who knew me in ways no one else ever will. I struggle with the grief that comes without warning, hoping every morning that this is all just a terrible dream. The most painful part of this loss is knowing her children must now grow up without their mother's hand to hold. They now face a lifetime of milestones, big and small, where her absence will be deeply and painfully felt. This tragedy has also devastated my mother. She has developed severe depression and chronic exhaustion. Every single day, she carries the weight of losing her daughter. Our entire family is still learning how to live with this emptiness. Holidays and birthdays are now silent reminders of her absence. Because of the circumstances of my sister's death, We were denied the opportunity to say a final goodbye and to observe our customs, adding a layer of profound, unfinished grief to our loss. Anna was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. Her life was unfairly taken. We miss her beyond words. While we recognize that no sentence can bring her back, we ask the court to consider the permanent, long-lasting impact this loss has had on our family, especially her children. We stand in agreement with the Commonwealth and their recommendations. Finally, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the investigators, the Commonwealth's office, and everyone who has worked tirelessly on this case. Your dedication to seeking justice for my sister has provided our family with a sense of support during our darkest hours. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share the full weight of this incomprehensible act. Anna will never be forgotten. We will carry her light and her memory with us forever. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me? What are you doing?
I'm taking photos of books.
Why?
Sorry.
Your Honor, we have no other victim impact statements other than the ones that we've submitted in writing.
All right, thank you. All right.
February of 2024. The first charge.
Right. I have read the Commonwealth sentencing recommendation, the written recommendation, but I'll have you state it on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is requesting that the defendant be sentenced to a series of consecutive sentences on the charges to run from and after his federal case in which he received a sentence of 37 months in February of 2024. The first charge that the Commonwealth would seek an incarceration component on is count 003, and that the defendant be sentenced to 2.5 to 3 years. The second charge would be that he, on the misleading 002, to run from and after 003, that he receive a sentence of 18 to 20 years. And that the third charge, the murder in the first degree, that the defendant be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole to run from and after 003 and 002. And Your Honor, if I may be heard in our argument.
Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you look at the facts of these three charges, each one calls for a harsh penalty. If you look at the illegal conveyance of a body, the defendant did not just, the person that he illegally conveyed was his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And he did it by removing her remains from the family home and placing them in buckets, in garbage bags, in dumpsters around the Commonwealth. He denied, as you just heard, her family the opportunity to have any customs or burial. There is no grave, there is no memorial. And he did this all in an effort to destroy evidence. On the misleading component, Your Honor, while we do mention the potential of probation, we put that in there only as data so that you understand the efforts that went in to trying to find Anna based on the defendant's series of lies. These lies were all done in an effort to cover up his crime and destroy evidence. We're also, while we put in that, we are not seeking a probation sentence. But we put it in there so the court, if it wanted to contemplate one, understood there was an option to do it that would prevent the defendant potentially from trying to profit from this.
So the only mechanism for me, as I see it anyway, the only mechanism for me under the restrictions of state law,
Yes, Your Honor.
it's an either-or situation. That is, either I incarcerate him for an additional period of time, either concurrent or consecutive, or I put him on probation following the life sentence, or maybe it even starts today. But the only way that restitution can be achieved on count 2 is through a probationary sentence. So I don't think there's any other mechanism for me doing that. So I don't know how you achieve that goal if without a probationary sentence and mandating it as a condition of probation. And so I want the Commonwealth to be clear with me. You're making note of it in passing, but you are not asking me to put him on a probationary sentence. Is that correct?
We are not, Your Honor. It is data that you can use in order to determine the scope of his lies in which the police relied on them. And you can see the costs that went into investigating the disappearance of Anna Walshe, but we are not asking for probation on this matter.
And the same question with regard to the issue of restitution that I heard rumblings of yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same result?
Same result. It is, again, it's data for you in determining your sentence, but we are not asking for it.
All right, just wanted to be clear on that.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then on the murder, again, this was the murder of his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And the cover-up of this murder, Your Honor, deserves some analysis.
AI is giving creatives the power to create anything, but with infinite possibilities, what should you...
If you look at the first internet search, which occurred at approximately 4:52 a.m. on the 1st, how to dispose of a body, and how they evolve into eventually 11:24 a.m., how to dispose of body parts after a murder, it appears the defendant at this point in time is committed to getting rid of evidence of the crime. And it leads to the shopping sprees later on that night at Lowe's and CVS and Stop and Shop. However, if you look at the internet searches on the second, how to dismember a body, and is a hacksaw the best tool to dismember a body? It's a reasonable inference he hasn't started the action yet. And it results in the second shopping spree to Home Depot that afternoon, which means that Anna Walshe has been dead in that basement for over 24 hours. The same home his children are in, the same home the babysitter's at, the same home his mother has come to visit. And in the evening between the 2nd and the 3rd is when the dismemberment occurs. And on the 3rd, we see him going to dumpsters, getting rid of the remains. In the defendant's sentencing memo, and I want to note, the defendant was represented by 2 excellent lawyers who are titans in this industry, who I have the highest respect for. They say the Commonwealth's recommendation is inhumane. I suggest that that's not the appropriate word choice, because if we were to look at that word, I would suggest that that describes the defendant's actions and the depravity of his actions of murdering his wife, dismembering her, and getting rid of her remains by throwing her away like garbage. The question might become whether or not this is a cruel and unusual punishment that the Commonwealth is recommending. And I direct Your Honor to one case. It's Cepulonis, CEPULONIS versus the Commonwealth, 384 Mass 495 at 497. It's a 1981 case. To reach the level of cruel and unusual punishment, the punishment must be so disproportionate to the crime that it shocks the conscience and offends the notion of human dignity. I don't know if that's possible in this case, Your Honor, because human dignity was completely offended by the defendant's actions, and how he treated his wife, how he disposed of her, and how he robbed her family and friends of the opportunity to bury her. There is no death certificate. The church will not allow a funeral to go on at this point in time. We are working on trying to work with the ME's office.
He says they're trying to get the medical examiner's office to give them a death certificate. But how can this church stop a funeral from happening? Is it a law that you have to have a death certificate to have a funeral? Because a judge can deem a person unalived. I don't know. It's really weird. I've never heard of that before. Not saying it doesn't happen, because I don't know everything. It's just weird.
Office to see if we can get a death certificate to issue now based on the conviction and based on the plea. And when I looked behind me after the closing arguments, I realized that was the closest thing that those people had come to a wake, because they never got together to mourn her. And that happened 3 years later. So with that, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does make a punishment that we recommend to you. We recognize it's harsh, but we think it's appropriate based on the facts. And I appreciate your time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll hear from the defense.
With respect to the first-degree murder conviction, although we made it clear from our memorandum that we do object to a life without parole sentence based on state and U.S. constitutional grounds, based on the Eighth Amendment, we understand the court has no discretion. With respect to indictments 2 and 3, you do. I think inhumane is the right word, respectfully. To sentence someone to prison posthumously to send a message is humane. It's dehumanizing him. Regardless of what happened in this courtroom, regardless of the convictions, regardless of what anyone believes about this person, he is a human. He is a father, he is a son, and he has been a friend to many. The life sentence is mandatory, but to do consecutive sentences, I think, is inappropriate and is inhumane. Anytime there is a death, a murder, a loss of life, it is horrible, whether it's a loved one or a stranger. And the legislature has provided, regardless of our disagreement, that a life sentence without parole is mandatory. But that does not negate that he is a human being. And I don't think sentencing him to on and after time is appropriate. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. What he was convicted of were atrocious acts. We've heard from her family, we've heard from her friends. Their pain is unimaginable, and I'm not demeaning that, but I have the opportunity to speak for Brian today.
I'm an inspector for the Naughty or Nice list.
Now streaming on Hallmark Plus.
Being an inspector is all about how close you can get.
And I'm asking the court to sentence him in line with the guidelines and with the purpose of sentencing: punishment, justice, prevention of future crimes, consecutive sentences. That's excessive and it doesn't meet those needs. So I'd ask the court to adopt the defendant's sentencing recommendation.
I just want to put on the record that the defendant, in making its argument with regard to the inhumane aspect of any consecutive sentences, cited to a case in its brief, Donovan. And Donovan does not apply to this case. As an initial matter, Donovan related to a larceny involving a single act that resulted in 7 different victims being victimized. The SJC, that was I think a 1985 case. The appellate courts in Massachusetts have long since distinguished Donovan, even in the case of larcenies, which is not the case that's before me, to recognize that even Donovan relates only to a single act case and not one with one purpose as you could argue, there was one purpose here, but more than one discrete offense. So I'm not persuaded by the logic of Donovan, even if it applied to this case, and even if it was as broad-reaching as the defense suggests in its sentencing memo, which the court finds it is not. Of Diana Walsh, innocent, remarkableness of your acts cannot be overstated, and local and mass or background. Your criminal history shows a long and well-documented history of deceitful and manipulative behavior. I've considered your character or lack thereof, your behavior, and your background. With regard to the nature and circumstances of the offenses, as to indictment 002, in the approximately 4 hours of interviews spanning 4 days, you concocted a detailed, completely fabricated story of what happened to Anna Walsh on January 1st, 2023, in order to cover up your murder of her and disposal of her body. Your lies triggered a multi-day, extensive missing persons investigation. A command center was set up in Cohasset and was manned by various law enforcement, to include the Cohasset Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police. And local and Massachusetts resources were deployed to Washington, D.C. to investigate at Anna's home. Because of your lies, thousands of hours of investigative resources were wasted and diverted from other deserving cases and investigations. As to the nature and circumstances of count 3, the improper disposal of Anna Walsh's body, the seriousness of your acts cannot be overstated. Your acts in dismembering your wife's body and disposing of her remains in multiple area dumpsters can only be described as barbaric and incomprehensible. You had no regard for the life.
Did they find her in those multiple dumpsters? Did I miss something somewhere along the lines? Because I don't remember them finding her.
Long mental harm that your criminal acts inflicted on your then 2, 4, and 6-year-old sons, not only in taking their mother, but also, as is specific to this charge, in never being able to properly grieve that loss, to say goodbye to their mom. And I hear today the same is equally true of a sister who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her sister, a mother who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her daughter, and many friends who had the same loss. As to indictments 2 and 3, I have considered the sentencing guidelines, the aggravating factors. There are no mitigating factors in this case. And I also sought out and considered information from the Massachusetts Sentencing Commission, again, which I shared with the parties earlier this week, in particular sentencings in 2022 and 2023 of defendants who were convicted of murder and or voluntary manslaughter, along with a Chapter 268, Section 13B conviction. This is not a guideline case. Finally, as to the first-degree murder conviction, I have considered the loss of the life of an innocent, remarkable woman, Anna Walshe, and its devastating impact on her children as relayed to me in the letter from DCF, her family as relayed to me in her sister's victim impact statement today, friends in their victim impact statements in the community. In the trial testimony of Jem Mutlu and Alyssa Kirby, a little bit of Anna Walshe, her warm, powerful, and embracing spirit came to life in this historic courtroom. I have carefully listened to the moving victim impact statement, to the oral written sentencing arguments made by the Commonwealth and by Mr. Walshe. It's clear to me that Anna was a bright light in the lives of many people. She lifted people up. I am sure that nothing I say and no sentence I can impose, even a life sentence, will lessen the grief that Anna Walsh's family, her mother, sister, and 3 boys, extended like family, confidants, friends, and others have endured and will continue to endure. Although I consider the letter of Diana Walshe, I simply cannot reconcile the person Diana Walshe describes in her letter with the person who stands before me for sentence. Mr. Walshe, you can stand. Mr. Walshe, you will live with the guilt and burden of Anna Walsh's death for the rest of your life. As to count 1, the jury having convicted you of murder in the first degree, I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to indict,
There's one line. That's a minimum of 20 years, depending on the state, but it could be a minimum of 50, depending on the state.
indictment 2.
I wanted the word cuppa, as in cup of tea, I thought it would be great to mix with hug. When I saw the domain...
Lying to the police in connection with the investigation of a life felony. I sentence you to no less than 19 years, no more than 20 years, the statutory maximum, in prison to be served consecutive to the life sentence in 001. The legislature caps the maximum sentence for the improper disposal of a body at 3 years in state prison. As to indictment 003, the improper disposal of the body of your wife, Anna Walshe, I sentence you to no less than 2 years, 364 days, and no more than 3 years in state prison to run consecutive to the sentences in 001 and 002. I want to make one other notation with regard to the sentences that I'm giving today.
So far, we have, what do we have, 43 to 83 years?
Earlier in this case, I identified that there was an error in Mr. Walsh's III. That error persists to today. Specifically, so the record is clear, As I understand Mr. Walsh's prior federal sentence, he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison. That sentence was to run concurrent with any state sentence that was given in this case. This morning, I asked probation to run his III again, and it is still incorrect. It is showing a 5-year probationary sentence. At my direction, the probation department in the last month, or perhaps a little bit longer, contacted the federal probation office in Boston to correct what I think is an obvious error in his III. It has not been corrected, and it stands still today as showing 5 years of probation as the sentence. To the extent that confuses anything in my sentencing, I want the record to reflect that, again, it's my understanding he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison to run concurrent with this sentence that I'm now imposing today. Madam Clerk, you may impose the sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So what does that mean? That his probation has been revoked? Oh, there's the red bracelets.
Mr. Walsh, a jury having returned a guilty verdict on charge 1, murder in the first degree, you were sentenced to the state prison for the term of your natural life. Count 2, witness intimidation, you having entered a guilty plea to that, sir, you're sentenced to 19 years, not less than 19, not more than 20 years, to run from and after your life sentence on count 1. On count 3, improper disposal of a body, you're sentenced to not less than 2 years and 364 days and not more than 3 years to run from and after the sentence on count 2. You will receive 1,076 days credit for time deemed served while awaiting the disposition of this matter. All fees and fines in this matter are waived. You're all set, Mr. Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Madam Clerk.
Goodbye.
Okay. So he's been sentenced. It doesn't look to me like he's going to be coming out anytime soon. I wish they would have made him tell exactly where his wife's body was, so that they can get a death certificate and so that she can have a proper burial. But once again, must be related to Brian Kohberger. So I don't know. I don't think it's right. I think that the judge or the courts should mandate somebody have to reveal where a person's whereabouts are. I only got 2 years. No, 2 years and 364 days is what they said. So that is for the improper disposal of the body. So they couldn't go over 3 years. So he got 3 years minus 1 day, but not more than 3 years. So he still got the 3 years for the improper disposal of the body. So it looks like he's going to be there about 50 to 60 years at least. But life, depending on what the state of Massachusetts, whatever that state says life is. Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri. What is the minimum time for a life sentence in the state of Massachusetts? According to this, 24 to 279 years. So he could be there forever. Who knows? But the sad thing is his babies have to grow up without a mama or a daddy. Rest in peace, Mrs. Walsh. So, all right. Now, I got more Christmas gifts in. So, I went this weekend. I don't know if it'll glow yet. Can you see it glowing? I got, my granddaughter collects, she loves Paris and the Eiffel Tower. And I got this clock and it wasn't working, so I had to replace the mechanism. And the mechanism I got happened to come with a glow-in-the-dark hand. So it's currently running, and it glows in the dark. Then all of this, I got some Tupperware. Look at this from Tupperware. I didn't know Tupperware even made it. It's a little purple thing, okay? And I don't know. Okay, it's got this little thing in the bottom of it. And it goes, I don't know how it comes out the bottom. Oh, like that. Okay, so it goes. It's a Tupperware sifter. I've already sold it, but it values at like $25, and I paid $1.99, but it's already sold. Okay, then this came in the mail today. You can't see. This all came in the mail today for Christmas. This will go to my daughter's house because she and her daughters all have really long hair. And what it is like this, only it's flat. So if you lean your head back, it's not going to smash you in the head or see, it doesn't hurt at all. And I have some, and then these are for people with longer hair. They got the wider opening for longer hair. All right. And then, now, we had a discussion about this. I ordered this, okay, because the cloth for my tarot table is too small. And once again, the cloth for my tarot table is too small. Okay? So now I'll have two cloths for my tarot table. That one and the one over here that has the birds on it. But with this came this little black velvet pouch. Black velvet in a little Roy style. Okay, anyway. So I love the little emblem on it. It comes with the tarot cards, and they are silver lustered. Is that what it's called? But they're beautiful. And I want to open them to see what they look like, but I won't because you gift cards. I didn't know this was coming and I wanted that. So I was already on the phone when these came in. I said, you can have that, but I want that. She said, deal. So, because when I do my daily tarot, where I do a one card thing, a gift from the tarot, message from tarot, I have a burgundy set and I don't need to. But mine are just plain. They're not mirrorized or metallicized. Mine are just the plain. And mine have definitions on them. I hope hers came with a book. Mine came with a book. Yeah, I got a little book that came with mine. I'm doing a daily 1 card or 3 card, depending on what the tarot gives, because I let the tarot decide how many cards we read, 1 to 3 cards, past, present, and future, or just for today. So whatever message comes from the tarot is the message that is for the day. And you can find that on my YouTube shorts. All right. Next, I don't know why I have this, where it comes from. I haven't opened the box. I don't even know what to do with it. I will ask my husband if it's something he wanted. It is a digital voice recorder. So, all right. These are those things you've seen. You put them in your car and they're supposed to melt the ice off your windshield. And I bought 4 of them because I thought they'd be gifts. And they're just, you know that little button when you're in your car and the side of your window goes like that by your door, and it's got that little oval look thing? That's where this goes. This sits on that little oval looking thing inside your door. I never knew what that little oval thing was for, but that's where it shows that this is supposed to sit. And I got 4, so 3 of them will be gifts. Now, when they come in, I told Amanda, I said, I need it to snow, please. She started laughing at me. All right, so we got those. And then these will go to Amanda Panda. Then this is a set of Minnie Mouse jammies for my niece. This is a Stranger Things blanket for one of my grand youngins. Let me open it. You want me to open it? Really? Can I open it? Is she there? Is she there? Can she see? It's a bath towel or something. Or a lay on the couch blanket. I think she'll like it. Feel how soft this is.
What is it?
It's a Stranger Things blanket or towel or something. I don't think it's a towel, but I think it's from the Hellfire Club. You smell like tater tots.
That can't help it.
Why do you use your razor every single day and there's hair in your sink every day if you're not shaving?
What do you mean?
I don't know who that was. But anyway, this is for my granddaughter.
How do I light this? I want to light it when I get back up to work.
With a match. How do you light a candle?
With the extended lighter.
I don't have an extended lighter. Go to Walmart and get one.
I can't. I'm not old enough.
You are 18. You're old enough to buy a lighter.
Are you sure? I thought you have to be like 25.
You have to be 21 to buy cigarettes. Take a throat drop. Anyway, I think my granddaughter will like that.
And I do love work.
Oh, she's going to love that? Okay. Have a good night. There's something in here I can't take out. Then this is a pair of pajamas for a friend of mine's little boy, for her grandson. This goes to my number 2 granddaughter. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. See how teeny tiny those Legos are? This is the Eiffel Tower. When she gets it built, it'll look like that. But it's like all the directions are in Chinese. And it's the Eiffel Tower. Sorry. Oh, you get to build it. Okay. The antivirus was the only thing holding me back from scheduling an interview. Yay! So since you told them you would use their antivirus, you can get a job? Congratulations! So anyway, this is for number 2 granddaughter. Would you leave already? Yes, I like you, but one of your Christmas presents is never in here, and I can't let you hear what it is. Besides, if you think about it, I have boxes of matches on the fireplace.
I don't look.
On the mantle. Or in the kitchen.
But you moved it off. I don't know where you put it. Because my wolf lighter doesn't have fluid.
I don't want it to either. All right, love you, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, when I was going to Goodwill, I found this thermos, and it really says thermos on top of it, and it's Batman. And I got it for my sister because my sister likes to take soup to work from time to time. But she says, I don't have a thermos. Okay, now you got a thermos. This pocket watch, whoops, my brother-in-law collects pocket watches. And inside of it, I didn't know what it meant, but it says, don't forget 3.2 inches. That's like 3.2 inches, okay? my friend that was with me at the Goodwill, she says that's Harry Potter because it's got a Heffeldorf or Humpledorf or Hubbeldorf or whatever it is. It's got one of the houses in it. So that's for my brother-in-law. All right. Then these are Vans. Stranger Things size 6.5. And I got them for my granddaughter. The same one that got the Stranger Things blanket or towel or whatever that is. So they look pretty big, so I think they'll fit her. And then this isn't actually his. I don't know who this is going to go to. But see all these little bitty Legos? These directions don't even have a finished product. But they're a dog, a black and white dog, a husky, a wolf husky dog. And I don't know who to give them to because I don't know who likes that kind of dog. But I got one for CJ and then I didn't realize I had actually ordered it. So I ordered another one. So now I got a second one. And I don't know why. But both sets comes with this little hammer. Lexi would like that? Okay. And both sets comes with this little hammer. I don't know why. But there we go. So that's what came in for Christmas. My bag's empty. Aside from the fact that I got these 4 Tupperware glasses for $1.99 at the Goodwill, but they're already sold. This goes in your microwave. It's Tupperware. I got it for $1.99, but it's already sold. And this is a green Tupperware like my mama used to have. The kind that you just push the button in the middle and it locks it. I paid $3.99, but it's already sold. And then this Eagle paperweight is made by Lennox. And it's stamped Lennox right there in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but it is stamped Lennox. I thought my husband would get this for Christmas. He has one that's in pottery and it's all different colors. It's the exact same thing, but it's not glass. It's pottery. But his eagles that he likes, I put them on the shelf and he tells me to go ahead and list them before I can even get this one listed at the $67 value that it's valued at. It's already sold. And I paid $3.99 for it and sold it. So, but I got it. Oh, hold please. I'm going to run out and get a cabinet. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But it's like an exact match to something I already gave somebody, but I don't know. I'll be right back. Hold please. shit, I'm gonna drop it. I don't know if you can see it. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's kind of red. It has a little drawer right here. And it's only for a half. It's not a whole rectangle. It's like to go against the, it's called an entry table. And I paid $25 for it. And the only reason I paid $25 for it was because when I did my initial Google search on it, it came up to be a $200 table. Then when I got home and took another picture, it's a $50 table. But I only paid $25 for it, so no big deal. I just got to find a place to put it. And yes, it will match. I have a top that would sit on top I don't have. But my moderator has a top that's made out of the same wood, the same color, and she has a turntable sitting in it because that's where she puts her record player. And it would sit perfectly on this. But she didn't ask if she would want it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But it's the same wood and same style. And it has the same pattern carved into it. But I don't know. Anyway. Okay. This is Friday. Friday. Okay. I'm out of breath because it's a half a block down there to the other end of my house. So, not really, but it seems like it. And I ran down the hallway. So, it's Friday. So, I won't be back till Monday. And tell me what you think. Since I'm doing a one-card tarot, whatever the tarot message is for the day. It's not like a reading. It's just like a tarot message. And since I have the empath activation cards that came with the book and these big old impact cards. Should I start doing a short for the tarot and a short for the empath? It's only a 44 card deck and the guidebook. And it is from Reverend Seraphina Red Feather, PhD. Yes. I like Reverend Seraphina. So does my moderator. She likes Reverend Seraphina. But wondering if I should do both. I just have you laughed at me because I've been running around with that snagged on my shirt? It's got static. And I guess I've been running around with it as a towel. But I also, what I've been looking at is I got this collectibles price guide book. And I seen a thing in here for a this is what a lady's bike used to look like. And then in here in the glass, I found this tea kettle. It's made out of amethyst. And then I have to go look in the garage, but I think I have that. This doll right here. I have to go look. And then when you saw me go like that, oh, where did this page go? Here it is. Nope. I didn't mark the page. How dumb am I? Well, anyway, this is one of them. I think I have this Toby mug downstairs, and I know I have like 5 different ones, but I seen them, a whole bunch of them on the page of Toby mugs. Oh, here it is. I have several of these downstairs. I need to go see if I've got any of the right ones. Because they value between 80 to, well, I don't have an $80 one. I think I have this one right here. I think I've got this one. That is $45 to $55. I think I have this one. That's $150 to $200. I think I have this one, and it's $120 to $180, and that was back in 2005. So, yeah, I have to go look at my Tobies, what I got downstairs, because I got some Tobies, and I think I've got this one up here, right here, but I'm not sure. But so that's what I was looking at, is the Toby mugs, because I've got some Tobies down there, and they're only about this tall and about this big around, but they're little Toby mugs. So anyway, all right. Thanks for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason that they smile. Have a great weekend and search for crime.